Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Aged Out Reacts, and in our first reaction video of the 2023 DCI drum corps season. We're starting with Blue Devils. Figured it'd be appropriate since they have, from what I've seen, come out of the gate way stronger than they did last summer, which is awesome. A lot of vets, makes sense, a lot of talent from like RCC and other places, so, you know, it's expected. But
yeah, so definitely, I mean, we previewed a little bit, and obviously this is not the first video we've watched this summer. Like, we've been keeping a pulse on the social medias, the YouTubes, Instagram, all that stuff. So the vibe from BD is definitely considerably different than the way we felt at the beginning of the year last year for them. But it makes sense. Just a lot more experience, less green.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And we've had a few people message us asking when content was going to start. We decided this year to kind of, let's give the season like a week. Let a handful of shows happen.
Also, the shows are, I mean, so late. There are a few groups that don't have a show till July 7th.
Who?
Which is, I think, like Spirit. There was 3 of them.
I know Blue Coat's show was kind of late compared to the other groups. I
Blue
think
Coats
Boston
have a show tomorrow.
They do or don't, or they do. Yeah, we're going to it.
Yeah, their first show tomorrow.
But while he's looking that up, I forgot to say this: we're the 2 hosts of the Aged Out podcast, Mike Fantini and
Evan Worrell. Yeah,
and
Crossman, Spirit, and BK have like a show on the 7th.
That's wild to go out so late, but you know, to each their own. Well, they have their reasons, I'm sure, whether it's travel, whether it's whatever, or just when the shows were scheduled around them at the beginning of tour from where spring training was. Who knows? But check out the podcast on all podcast services, Instagram, Facebook, never miss an update, patreon.com/agedoutpodcast if you want to support us financially, or hit the join button here on YouTube. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, share the video. That stuff helps so much with reach of the content. So just hit the like button if you want to. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think of our opinions about the Blue Devils for this summer, and make sure you check out all our other reaction videos. We also did a preseason. We said we're starting a week into the season this year, really, to give it a little time to settle in and a few shows to happen. We did do a preview preseason podcast. It's on YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff. Check that out if you want to. I think you and I were talking too. We are going to do like a rewatch reaction to parts at least of our preseason podcast to be like, oh, we got that super wrong, or we nailed that one,
I'll
or
just make notes and we can go back and be like, I said this and this is what happened. And
we will go back and make fun of ourselves if we were way off, or give ourselves credit if we kind of hit the nail on the head with certain groups. But we'll let the season evolve and play out. I'm ready to jump into BD and watch some of the cool stuff they're doing this year.
Video here from Mr. Gabe Salad, who has a nice library of content, so give him a sub so he can,
a lot of indoor stuff. I think he's at like 350 subscribers right now, so
he can get that monetization.
Yep. All right, let's watch some BD and enjoy. That's cool how they left that left on the drum over there, the whole feature.
More drum.
Yeah. Hear the bass line under that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna back up.
Whew.
I'm already backing up 20 seconds in.
Small like speedo rolls in there in the space.
That's something you'll notice with their book from what I've seen early on so far. There's a lot of fast rolls. A lot of risky forms too they're doing it in too, which is, we'll get to that later.
Nice bass.
God, that roll was fast. The bass run sneaking in there.
Ugh. Yeah, dude, just pushing out of nowhere.
Yep.
Ooh, the bass
That's so
run through
cool.
The ghost.
The visual ghost notes.
Arms.
Yep.
Ooh, good control through the space. A lot of space.
Before we let the snare feature play, the BD double stops. It's never going to die. It's never going to go away. It's a hallmark of the Blue Devils.
It's their hallmark, man.
Just
their calling card.
Double stops for days throughout the entire book. It's awesome.
Impacts for the 4.
Same theme in the snare feature from the quad feature with the lefts there.
Yeah, the sticking motif, the rhythmic motif.
Fast rolls.
Yeah.
All right.
So obviously, too, like the difference in this year and last year that's pretty glaring for me is Blue Devils are always going to have their content, their moments, but the clarity is definitely significantly better earlier this season than it was last year.
It's night and day
so
difference.
kudos
Go
to them.
watch our reaction video or the raw lot videos from early season, and then come watch this. Completely different.
Even when we talked to Rudy and did that podcast with him, he was just like, yeah, like it took us a while. Like, so.
And you can see a lot of familiar faces in this drum line. And like the center quad, I think, was at Blue Coats last summer. And then you got a few kids from RCC in the snare line that I don't think were in the snare line last year. Pulse members. Like
some BD kids that were in Thesis.
Then you got the super young Ayala quad drummer who's very good, very good. So he's the youngest. I saw they did like a special piece on him, I think, either BD's YouTube channel or something, some piece of content. I think he's the youngest member. He's 18, youngest member in the battery.
Good for him.
Yeah, right. Good roll.
Good. Just way more consistent than they were last year at this point.
Just consistently solid rolls. And it wasn't just the snare line playing the rolls. It was blended snare to quad, so that's even
full battery.
Even better.
Little run here. Ooh, I love the triple beat feel. Dude, they just do the swing jazz type feel. Just the stylistic changes are so well done.
Yeah, I will probably know immediately when I see the show for the first time, because I have not seen their show on the field yet, where that part of the book fits in. I bet it supports the core extremely well.
No doubt.
A lot of their like fuzzies are on the attacks. It's just like those fast rolls right there, those low, there was no tap. It was just straight into a roll, and that makes it even more difficult when you don't have that tap to get the attack together to make the roll perfect. You got to feel the roll in the hands the same way across the board, and there's still some early season fuzz there on those attacks, but you notice the roll cleaned up almost every time by like halfway through it. That's a sign of maturity in a group that's going to get really clean. So BD always plays a lot of tap fives, but I feel like there's a ton of tap fives in this book already. This moment.
I did see this. This is one of those classic high risk, high reward moments.
We'll let it play out and then we'll pause. God, that like change right there, high to low. It's a large form. Then it locks right back in as they unintegrate.
I'm still waiting to be proven wrong, but even with like Broken City, they did the double shot doubles or the rim shot double stroke. Like maybe they'll prove me wrong and they can get that to sound good, but I just don't think that's ever gonna sound good.
I was gonna point that out and be like, is that the Broken City rim shot roll in the middle of that too?
Same thing.
Yeah.
I just the physics of it don't really make sense to me that you can get both double strokes to speak evenly, much less with 9 people on a snare line hand to hand. But
it's an effect
maybe
thing.
I'll get proven wrong.
Yeah.
But the beginning of that phrase where they're doing all the individual responsibilities of like the
so
dynamic
hard.
contrast, the in and out of the phrase, blending high, blending low, and then just going from all those like extreme dichotomies into the low speedo roll. That stuff is going to get them super credit reward if they if and when they pull it off. So
yeah, it is extremely difficult. I think when they're weaving in and out of each other, or rather the center, I think, is moving between pod to pod, and like the other two join in that he's moving to, and that's so hard. And it reminds me a little bit of the moment from 2012 where it was a huge dropout, add in, roll thing like that. Now they weren't in that year; they were just kind of set
they did
in the
one
form.
like that in like 15 or 16.
They've done it
also.
before multiple times, but I'll make a statement that if they get this feature perfect, this will win them with Sanford. Like, if this is nails on finals night, they're probably winning the drum trophy.
It's one of those moments that's very memorable and like I haven't seen anybody else doing.
Exactly. It's a level of risk. Really, you only really see the Blue Devils do something this ballsy. Right. Other groups have throughout their past from time to time, but Blue Devils does it on a consistent basis, and it's the kind of thing that we've talked about before. BD is going to give their members the vehicle to win. If they perform it, they're going to win.
This moment reminds me of all the times where they do like the metric swap where half the battery starts slow and half the battery starts fast. And then they like slow down, speed up, meet in the middle, switch.
Definitely one of those things. And even like the second, we're going to play the whole thing and not talk again after we're done blabbering here, but you'll notice they have the crazy snare, roll, interweaving, add-in stuff. But then they're in a massive integrated line, quad snare, playing a blended roll. That's so, like, end to end, that's got to be more than 10 yards on the field.
Dude, 10 yards, 10 yards is just a snare line.
It's a snare line. It's got to be like 20 almost. Like, that's insane.
I would say probably closer to 30. But
yeah.
25, 30. Because usually you're at a 3-step on, well, whatever.
Well,
but
it doesn't matter. I'll look at it when I see the show on the field. I'll see the yardage doesn't matter. The point is,
it's a big form.
It's a big form end to end. And again, it's a level of risk and demand and content that will, if this is perfect, the rest of their book is probably going to be pretty damn good too. And BD is going to set them up for success with exposure, with the way the show is designed to allow them to get the credit they would deserve at that point. So I think if this is perfect on finals, they'll win a drum trophy. If I was a betting man, honestly, I'll make this statement. A handful of the top groups. If I had to place a bet on who was going to win the Sanford this year, I'd probably put a $20 bet on Blue Devils. This early, super early, way too early prediction thing, that's where my money would be. But yeah, Boston's very good. Blue Coats are very good. Let's watch this again, and then we'll let this play out the rest of the way. The high moms throughout too, the add-ins.
It's almost like it visually lets you know, like, I stopped playing, now I'm gonna jump back in.
Yep. That's so tough. Oop.
Yeah, this is a long form. Do the like echo down the line.
Doppler effect type thing.
I need to listen to that with my spatial audio.
Yeah.
But when they get back into an easier form, it locks in really
exactly.
well. I love single shots. But you gotta get it. Round 2.
Yep.
Fight. Kudos also to writing that out on paper.
Right? To notate all that? Yeah.
I wonder if they just taught that by rote.
I was getting ready to say the same thing. They probably just did it by rote on the spot.
It was better.
It was. This rep is definitely better. Well, the add-in stuff at the beginning was kind of rough, but this is way better.
Nice.
I think the bass line even had that crescendo roll. Dude, I love when they pop out. They're playing low, fast, and they pop out big like doubles like that, and then go right back low. The contrast is really cool. Some bass love.
Woo. Ooh. Jeez.
Lord.
Let's go bass. That's a lick that looks fun to play.
I almost want to learn that, honestly. Someone send us the sheets in the snare line if you got it.
Out of the threes of Shirley Murphy's stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of beef in that phrase. Good lord. All right, cool. We get to hear it again.
Yeah,
and I think
let's
that's
get
the
it
end of it.
Great quality. I don't even know what that is.
I don't either. That left backstick is so fast. To sneak that in there.
That's just because you suck at backsticks.
No, I don't. I played them a ton.
Just kidding. I never played many backsticks, but I like them.
Yep. Dude, the verticality of that phrase, quad snare, just everyone ramming the nines. Jeez. Like, again, I think BD wrote with the intent of, all right, we're going for the trophy this year. Like, we got some experience, we got some talent, we're gonna win. Like, we're gonna just write a ton of stuff. And they're playing a ton of stuff in this book.
Yes.
Good pulse within that roll, too, by the snares right after. Like, up, down. They even wrote the Colin McNutt special in there.
This is probably my favorite pod. We'll go back in a second. We're almost done with this, but this is probably my favorite stack. Listening to a battery, just
quads in front,
the quads in front with the blend with the snares, and the bass in the back. I don't know. I love listening to it like this. It's just a little bit easier to hear all the voicing for me.
Yep. So not only I didn't go back to the quad phrase, but there's a snare roll right after, and it starts well. They grow together, come back down together, maintain the clarity. Might not have gone back far enough. No, I didn't. Whatever. Flams. Gotta respect the flams.
The echoes.
Yep.
Classic BD visual.
I think it's the same phrase again.
Yeah. So
we can just pause.
We'll listen for your roll here.
Yeah.
This pulse roll. Nice.
They even jumped too.
Re-attack on the high.
Yeah. They freaking not only grew it, but then there was like an attack in the middle of it, but the rhythm didn't stop. It's cool. Yeah, we're not going to let that whole phrase play over again. Again, if I was a betting man, I think BD will win the Sanford. If I had to place a bet right now,
I won't throw out. I need to see more. Like, I haven't seen almost any Blue Coats content. I saw one short clip.
Yeah.
I need to see some shows.
I'm not saying Blue Devils are going to win. I'm saying if I had to place a money bet, it would be the safest. What I've seen, it would be the safest bet at this point in the season right now.
Right.
Now, I agree with you. Seen minimal Blue Coat stuff because they came out later and kind of were low key with their didn't really have stuff coming out during spring training really by the core. But from what I did see, Blue Coats very good. Boston very good again. Crown, I think Mike wrote a beefier book than normal, and that's probably we'll react to Crown and we'll talk more about that. Cavies very good. So like,
Yep.
who did I don't think that's a 5 really. Blue Coats, BD, Crown, Cavies, Boston.
No Vanguard.
I think. Yeah, no Vanguard. I think those 5 are probably going to be the 5 best percussion sections. I mean, those kind of like the staple good groups every year. But if any one of them won a drum trophy, I wouldn't be at the end of the season going, well, that's stupid. I could see any one of them getting to the promised land, is what I'm saying. So, all right. Well, I like BD a lot this year, more than last year. They're way better right now than they were last year. You got anything else?
I'm good.
All right,
Ready to get going, cranking out some content.
We are going to the Mason, Ohio show tomorrow. Feel free to say hi if you see us in the lot. We'll be filming stuff, hanging out, talking to people, watching drums.
It'll be,
Yeah. So,
when this comes out.
Facebook, Instagram, like, comment, subscribe, podcast on all podcast services, and we'll see everybody in the next video.
Peace.